Hello, people of YouTube. This is Everything in General 2.0 coming at you live now. This is going to be our first episode, so take it easy on me, alright? Alright. Well, this radio show is basically going to be about average day people, people that go to school, people that go to work, and we're going to have some guests on, like some of my friends and other people that are very nice. Also, we're going to share point of views, my bad, and you could send comments of what you want to discuss about topics. Yeah, that's another thing we're gonna do, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you join us for the ride because we're gonna talk about um things that we get, how we get treated, what is it like in the world, and what's it like in school, and what does an average day person do, or what to do for fun, discuss problems, and pretty much a lot of other things. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys join us, and see you there. Okay, to kick off the first episode, I'm gonna talk about school, and and how school is, and school affects a child's life, and it pretty much sets them for the rest of their life, basically, and so your actions in school really do matter. Um, People are dropping out already at like ninth and 10th at my new school I went to. I just recently moved, and I mean, and they're probably not going to have as great as a successful future as most um kids will, teenagers will in the future. So people say you want to drop out though, but that's a really serious topic to talk about, and because it really does set you for the future, and you know what I mean, and so yeah. Next thing I want to talk about school is teachers. Man, teachers can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Um, the other time my algebra teacher I had a packet of homework that I completely did. It was pretty good. I gave it to him so he could grade it and everything. And next day I go back to find it was probably like a 7-page packet, and I give it to him, and then probably a week later he wants to give it back because everyone needs to have theirs graded too, so it takes quite a while. So everyone gets theirs, and I don't get mine back, so I go up to him and I say, "Hey, you have my packet. What's my grade?" And he says, "What packet? It wasn't. You didn't complete it, and it showed up as a zero on my progress report." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I handed that in to you." So we went on with this big thing of me saying, "Well, I need the grades and everything," and so um, I said, "Is there anything I could do to make it back?" So he hands me the same exact packet except blank. So I had to redo the whole entire thing. I did it. I gave it back. He still hasn't found it, and that's another thing. Teachers really need to keep things in file. Like when I see teachers' desks at times, they look messy. Like they don't seem organized and look like no wonder kids' work gets lost. And just a few cases of that happen to me at times, and especially going on with teachers like uh my uh my auto tech teacher. He's very it's just very tiring. All right, we have an online course we're doing, and I know some of the stuff and everything, and because I worked on cars and everything, and I'll get to that later though, but yeah, so it's an online course, and it's very boring. There's nothing to do, and people have disobeyed the class rules, and so it's affecting us. So it's an hour and 30 minutes for that class, all on the computer. I mean, I read the material already, and I did all the tests, and it gets boring, and you just sit there. Like today, I was like bored out of my mind. My friend next to me, they got their music in, but I don't know if they were really allowed to. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, oh man, because the teachers getting more stricter. He used to be very lenient. Let's go on, listen to music. But now, since everyone has kind of messed that up because they did the Harlem Shake on the lifts and the cherry picker for the motor and everything, they screwed that up for us. So now it's very boring, and I just wish that our teacher, we'll do something else. Like say in MOBA, okay, you could do that for like about 45 minutes, and then for the last um, well, I'm not great at math here, but for the rest of the time, um, we could watch videos on how to wrench, or we can go out there and we could bring in they have a Ford out there, a red Ford Taurus, I think it is. I'm not sure, and we could work on that, or I could just show you parts of it. But he doesn't do that, and he says it's our fault because um we're not getting enough shop time because we're talking and everything. But the reason why we're talking is that because we have nothing else to do. I mean, we're going on our phones because we have nothing else to do. He just sits there. There's only a couple occasions we get to go out into the garage and actually watch him work. And and when we get to work, don't get me started. His tool room, absolutely horrible, but his tools perfectly okay. The students' tools, sockets everywhere, and oh my gosh, the wrenches are all mixed up, and it's not cool. You know what I mean? And I have tools at my house here. We have Snap-on toolboxes because my father and I worked on race cars, and they're neat. They're nice and neat. And so we go in there, we're like, oh, what are we doing? And then we come back. He says, well, it takes you long enough. So it's kind of like, oh, come on, man. And you know what I mean? So while he's wrenching, he's showing us what to do, but most of us are kind of hands on. So we just sit there and talk. And yeah, and he makes us clean the garage. That's understandable, but that's what mostly we did all the time is clean the garage, and then majority of the time was being on those computers, which were a pain in the butt. And so yeah, teachers are fun. And a teacher can really affect a child's life. Like my art teacher, very enthusiastic, wants to has goals for us, and you know what I mean. And she really pushes us to do our best, and it really helps because I painted a picture that I'm entering in the art show, and it looks pretty cool. It looks real nice, and it's got sailboats. It's like a landscape. Everyone had to do like a painting of a item like a magnifying glass or something else, and I was the only one that did a landscape. I have a big poster board, so that looks good. And I also did a poster for the art show that I'm entering my poster for, my painting for, and I won $30. So, but I spent 25 of that getting a game, but yeah, so it really affects them. It really does because if you're bored there sitting in your class all day, you're not focusing on like reading or something because you know what I mean. Who wants to sit there and read without anything going on? You know what I mean. People want to talk to their friends, but yeah, they want to learn hands on at times. So nobody really wants to sit there and read dead silent with nothing absolutely going on about stuff that you might already know or stuff that you already read tons of times over and over again, aka auto shop. And yeah, maybe if teachers could change that, it could work. I mean, we could start getting A's better and stuff, and you know what I mean. It'd be pretty good. Um, so yeah, and also in school, I see a lot of picking on, lots of picking on, and in my old school, there was like that's very rare to see in fights. Like first week I came here, there was a fight between two women, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, oh, jeez, and I see people picking on people, and you know what I mean, and it's tough. This new high school is really tough, and it's also different too. We have 4 blocks. I had like 6 blocks before. We have 4 blocks now, with like 15-minute breaks in between them, and we get to eat outside, which I never got to do at my old school and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? It's a good experience. So yeah. So and, during those times, people talk about other people. There's somewhat drama. I haven't seen a lot of it though, but there was fights and I mean, and people talk about people and in a very rude way. Since I just moved down south, people always make fun of the African Americans, which I mean, they're people. They're people just like Caucasians are, and Hispanics are just like Caucasians are. and yeah, Caucasians. You know what I mean? Vice versa. So we're all the same. I just don't get why people got to be so racial about it. You know what I mean? The back then in the Civil War, you gotta let that go. I know, but you know what I mean. It was very tough times though. But you know what I mean. You gotta think of it though. But they're humans. What if we were in their place? How would we feel? We would be like, stop, dude. But you know what I mean. So you have lots of bullying going on. Like not a lot. It's hard to explain. And it's there. It's present there. You could hear it. Um. Also want to talk about friends. I made lots of friends, new friends. I came, and friends also, like I was saying about school and about how it affects a child's life. Friends do that too. If you hang out with the wrong crowd, it can turn out well for you. And I'm trying to hang out with the right crowd. I have one of my good friends that hopefully he'll be on the show later. Um, he's a very nice person. I have another friend, and hopefully he might come on the show later. He's a goofball. Um, but yeah, and I'm trying to hang out with the right crowd, and instead of talking in class to my friends, which I'm telling you about, I'd focus on my classwork. Except in auto tech because we have classwork, but it's not real great classwork. But I still do. I do it though classwork. But yeah. So yeah, they affect it too because if you let them distract you too much, your grades will go right down. You know what I mean? And you have to repeat classes. So friends can make you or break you because they can help you, or they could just completely annihilate you on homework or classwork or getting you in trouble. So yeah, yeah. I don't know, but see, I need more. I need a lot of topics to talk about. So I need you people on YouTube to uh send me comments and everything saying what topics would you like to discuss. Like, I mean, I'm not one too big for clothing. I like to keep it simple. Don't try not to send clothing topics or you know what I mean. And but you can send games, television shows, um, items that you can get. Like we could talk about all the uses for duct tape, uh, or or we could talk about firearms or hunting equipment or anything. Because or cars is a big subject that I'd like to discuss over and about how people opinion cars. So yeah, just send me all those requests to talk about topics, and I'll definitely put them on the air. Um, Going back to television shows and stuff, I want to talk about The Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, what a great show! And it's been getting very suspenseful lately, like Rick meeting the governor, and what they're how they're discussing and how the governor made a deal, but yeah, he's gonna go back on it. How Rick is preparing for war because he knows that deal's a phony. So it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be really cool. I mean, I read the comics actually, and I mean it's pretty sweet. And yeah, and also what I want to talk about is we'll also do like different YouTubers. I will try to send them message or something like that, or we could just discuss over them. Like we could talk about like Captain Sparkles, Uber Hexer Nova, Ant Venom, or any YouTuber you want to talk about, like Dan News or anything. I mean anything, and talk about games too. I might put up a couple gameplay videos, but you know. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this episode number one. Number one, a very cool episode explaining everything and discussing one topic of, school and what I see through my eyes. I might touch on that again, but yeah. So this is gonna wrap up our first episode of Everything in General 2.0. So yeah, I hope you like my entry song. I was playing the Ballad of Gay Tony Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, that'd be kind of funny. And I watch Uber Hex or Nova do the Gay Tony off like a mountain or something, and it just cracks me up. So I decided to do that, and yeah. So well, guys, I'm gonna go, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. So catch you next time.